Hey everybody, this is Teresa coming at you again from Destination Mountaintop Stories of Inspiration. And happy Valentine's Day, y'all. I knew you thought that, oh, you wasn't going to get a present. Nobody thought about you. But I thought about you. And I want this to be a day of love and of joy for you. If you didn't have a Valentine's love, I didn't have one. Uh, I still want you to know that there are people out there that love you, that appreciate you, even if they don't always tell you. So I want to tell you before we get started, if nobody ain't told you yet, I love you. Now, I need you to do me a favor, sis. You know I love you. If you're on Facebook, please just click the like button and share. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, like, and share. Because, y'all, I want to build up that little baby embryo YouTube page. I need to really start doing some stuff over there. But please, y'all, like, follow, share, subscribe, whatever is, I'm begging for that, y'all. I'm begging. I'm mercilessly begging. I don't do the cash apps. I don't do the other things like that. But I'm sitting up here messing up. Y'all know it won't be a show if I don't do something that's messed up. So I'm sitting up here putting on stuff on this screen that has no business being up here. This is an example of a banner. If I didn't do something like that, it would not be Destination Mountaintop. So while we are forging on, I told you guys that I had a special guest tonight. I told you I had a special guest. Ooh, I found it. And our special guest, she is a woman. I call her the American Jamaican woman. You remember that show where they used to be acting like they were Jamaicans and talking about how many jobs they have? That's her. She got like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20 jobs. And she good at all of them. And she's anointed and appointed. And she's been through things like everybody else. She didn't arrive to uh, her beautiful state of perfection where she is right now by not going through some things in life. So, what I'm going to do, as always, I'm going to let our guest introduce herself, and she's going to tell us where she's from, how she grew up, her mama, daddy, uncle, them, grandmama, uh, what's hidden under the mattress, and everything else. Bring us up, and she's going to tell us about her many jobs. So, I'm putting it over to you, darling, and thank you.
Thank you, Miss Teresa. Well, I'm totally psyched and I'm excited to be here with you. I'm just glad that you saw my little Black Notes page.
Yes.
Um, it's that is one of my new babies, since we were talking about all of my different jobs. But
Mhm.
as you said, my name is Crystal Nicole. Hi. Some of you know me as Crystal Trailer because that's the name that most people know me by back home. I am from Hooks, Texas,
Mhm.
near Texarkana. I don't live there now. Now I'm living near Oklahoma in a small town, city-ish, Denison. And to try to sum up all of my different hats that I wear, I'll just say that I'm an author, speaker. I didn't even tell you this, but I also sing.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm a vocalist. I have my Black Notes that are my greeting cards, something that's come in my heart. I'm a mother. I'm
Mhm.
a daughter. I'm a proud oldest child. I take that
Mhm.
role very seriously as oldest child, oldest sister. I have two gorgeous sisters.
Mm.
I am a PK or MC, however you want to say. I'm a preacher's kid, minister's child. My parents are Pastor Danny Trailer and First Lady Teresa Trailer of Abundant Life Church of God in Christ in Hooks, Texas.
Okay.
So I don't know if you ever heard of them, but
The
but
name sounds familiar, and you're a Kojic girl.
I am.
So you the Holy Ghost. Yeah,
Yes,
I knew when
yes.
I said anointing, I wasn't wrong. Okay, uh-huh.
Yes, ma'am. So, yeah, so that's like my little paraphrase of all the things that I do. I work in during the day. I'm working in digital marketing, and I'm a licensed cosmetologist. So I also am in the salon. I'm also in the salon some weekends. I have cut down some of those days, just like you said.
Mhm.
Like, we have to take care of ourselves
Yeah,
just like we take care of everyone else. And even though I have a lot of hats that I wear, there are the most important hats that I wear are those related to my family, such
yeah,
as, being a mom. I never want my children to feel like money means more to me than time with them.
mhm,
So I'm not going to jeopardize that by being in the salon too much, or having to be in,
yeah.
have all these different little jobs that are Crystal Nicole, and that
Mhm,
takes me away from them. That So
mhm.
that role as a mom, and the role as, that oldest daughter, oldest sister, those roles mean the most to me, because is family is forever, and you can't get time back. The time
No,
that's tomorrow, I mean, yesterday is gone. So whatever it is you didn't do yesterday, you can't do it today. So today you make the most of it, you do the best that you can, and you move forward.
it's
So
finding that precious balance.
yes, yes,
Precious balance with everything. And sometimes that's kind of hard to do. Um, in 2022, that's kind of hard to do, even if you have one hat you're wearing with the state of things, because COVID is still prevalent. And I think that COVID coming in, it did change the atmosphere and the way a lot of things are done, and people are still adjusting to that. And like right now it's kind of quiet, but is it going to pick up again? But
right,
even though it's kind of quiet, if you go into the hospital emergency rooms and in the hospitals, no, it's still here.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So it is a undercurrent of fear, and
Yeah,
then trying to do the things that need to be done and keep a sense of normalcy. And
true,
sometimes that can be so hard. That can
true.
be so hard. And then here we are on this day called Valentine's Day, when we just rush through the holidays. It's like, how did this sneak up on us so quick?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people out there are feeling like, uh, I, I'm alone. Nobody loves me. I'll
Yeah,
never find anybody that loves me. I've
yeah.
been through some things. So I want to ask you two questions. Number one is, how do you keep balance?
As you said, that's very difficult, but
Mhm,
I keep balance because I am totally a schedule and make reminders for myself. So
mhm,
I rely on, like, for my clients, for instance, I
mhm,
have a scheduling, I have online booking so people can book online, but I have that schedule there, and then I have um just anything that I'm doing with the kids,
mhm.
whatever, I have it on my calendar. I have it in my and I keep all of my calendars in sync so
Mhm,
that I'm not double booking anything. It really is by the grace of God that I don't. It's only happened maybe 2 or 3 times, in all honesty, in the past like 8 years, that I've
mhm,
double booked somebody,
mhm.
like, as in, well, and it wasn't a client, it was like I had a client, but I had an event also. And
Yes,
I had to figure out, like, work it out. And a lot of times God just worked it out to where that client that I had at the same time as that event was a client that I like was not a new client. So
mhm,
I was able to talk to that client, like, hey, I'm so sorry. But
yes,
and the biggest thing, though, with all of that, with juggling it, is how you treat people. Just like you were talking about love and kindness and all that, is that, you know, what you see is what you get. The way I am with you right now on this interview is the same way I am with with everyone. Like, I'm
yes.
gonna be the same energy, the same vibe, and I'm
Genuine,
gonna
yeah.
love on people in general, And so it's like there's a lot of people who don't feel like they're loved until they meet people who are genuine and sincere. And so I have clients that I know that, like, I won't say that I am the best at everything, but I do know for a fact that I have some clients that are with me because they know that I sincerely and genuinely care about them as people and not just that I do their hair, you
Yeah.
know? So that helps me whenever there may be some type of hiccup with scheduling, when it comes to my schedule, like with the other things I do, taking kids to practices, taking,
Mhm.
picking up kids or whatever. I make sure that I am very much ahead of time. I don't wait till the last minute to do anything. Like, anyone knows that if I like I am I'm also coaching my daughter's basketball team.
Yes.
And before that started, back they didn't start playing games until like January. But before that even started in November, when I signed up, I was like, I need a schedule. I need a schedule because I have to know, I'm gonna be booking people. I'm like, look, I know I'm bugging you, but I need a schedule because I'm working in like
Mhm.
3 or 4 schedules that I gotta, manipulate.
Adjust to, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
so that's how I keep that balance, is just by being on top of stuff, checking
mhm.
in with people, try not to cut my head off.
Now people would look at you and they would, a lot of people think when they look at you that you've always been this way. And how did you be, well, yeah, of course she can do it. Look at her. Listen to her personality, listen to her bubbly, but they don't know that you have passed through some things to get to where you are. Could you share some of that with us? And and how did you? I kind of know a little bit, and how did you pass through that and were able to? How did you come to grip and transform to who you are?
Um, you're right when you say that. I always tell people you can't judge a book by its cover. I used to tell clients that when I worked in mental health, I used to tell them the same thing. Like, you can't look at me and say that I don't understand where you've been because you don't know what I've been through. Just because I'm smiling and I'm bubbly and I'm energetic, um, I just to even sometimes to reminisce and remember how
Yes.
good God is, because
Yes.
that's, first of all, that's really the main reason and way that I have been able to move past the different things in life, is because,
Yeah.
first of all, because of God's grace, right? Because and I have to, sometimes I try not to be emotional about it,
Mhm.
because my very first relationship I was ever in was an abusive one, and abusive on like every level. It was sexual, physical, emotional, everything. And there were things that I share a little bit more now because my oldest son, who was the product was came from that first
Yeah.
relationship. I've never been one who talked negatively about my children's fathers,
Yes.
because
Yes.
I feel
That's
like,
so important.
yeah, I feel like if anything, like when they get older, that if they make decisions, to whatever decision that they make relating to their father, that they have made that on their own and not because I'm dogging him or bashing him or anything like that, right? And so even though I went through all those things with my oldest child's father, um I never was like dogging him. Right now, there were
Mhm.
some stories, because remember I told you I'm a preacher's kid.
Mhm.
Sometimes, being the preacher's kid, sometimes we get talked about over the pulpit.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
there would be times where, my dad might be talking about some things, because my dad like almost killed him because he had jumped on me, and he was gonna do it, and he testifies about how I my dad was like a raging bull, he was
Yeah.
going, and all I could think about was, I do not want my dad to go to jail because of my decision to be with someone. And he
Yes.
literally, like, I was on one arm, my mom was on the other arm, and he had us, and it was this one empty water bottle. I just like, because he slung us off, and I threw it, and it hit him, and he just stopped, and he was like, and later he told me that he didn't understand why I would do that, but then he understood. And it's like, that was the first part of, like, as far as relationships, and yeah, I'm one who, like, I will disclose things to people because of
Mhm.
the fact that, like, people always have this perception that I just have, like, all these guys talking to me, and that I've had,
Yeah.
like, these wonderful relationships. I get roses and I get all these other things, whatever. But truth be told, I've not been the lucky person in love, right?
Mhm.
But again, God's grace and God's mercy, God's wonderful, God's love has carried me through all the different things that I've been through. And that's how I'm able to show love, because that's who I am. Like, I am a loving person. I love
Yes.
to love on people. I love to give to people. I love to feel like I am making an impact in people's lives. It's fulfilling to me to know that I'm helping someone. And so when I write, like, I can still write passionate poetry and love
Yes.
language poetry, because that's me genuinely. I can genuinely say I love you to people, because I'm not going to allow the things that I've been through, the hatred, the backbiting, the backstabbing, the different things I've been through. I'm not going to allow that to change who I am. And my
Yes.
biggest motto that I tell people when I am speaking, because we talked about that I'm a speaker, and my one of the things that I tell young people, older people, whatever, is that your dark past does not make you unworthy of a bright future. It
Yes.
doesn't matter what you've been through. And I can testify to that. I'm not where I want to be at yet. I
Mm-mm.
don't have
Mm-mm.
the things that I want yet. I'm not monetarily, financially there yet. But as far as spiritually and where I am, I still believe, and I still have faith that God can bring me to where like, to make my purpose come
Mhm.
true, you know? So that's kind of me trying not, I don't want to, like, talk you to
Yeah.
death or whatever,
No,
but
no, no, no. I mean,
yeah,
I think that these are things that people need to hear, because people do automatically assume that, oh, look at them. They get on there, they're talking, they're this, they're that. They haven't been through anything. And baby, if you knew what it took to get just here. And I always tell people we end with quotation marks, because this place that we are right now, there's a continuation to it.
yeah,
And I do think that people have to change their perspective and change the way they view a thing. I told my daughter last night, if I gotta bend over and look between my legs like the little kids do to see a thing differently, if that's what I have to do, I have to do that, because sometimes when we see things, the way we see things is out of our trauma. You've been delivered from a situation. You've been changed. You got peace. You got happiness, but you still have these triggers,
yes,
and these triggers and this trauma will have you thinking the whole situation is about you, and you done created a whole scenario, and you ready to run out the room crying, and it's not even about you. It has
not
nothing.
me. I don't do that. Like, I'm not really like that.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
triggers are more like things that I can't watch certain things on TV,
yeah.
because it reminds me, like, I cannot watch, like, I've never watched Tyler Perry's Diary of a Mad Black Woman or whatever. I
I have.
never watched that. I can't watch it because I watched when in that first scene when he kicked her out of the house. He had the
Yeah,
other woman in there. I was like, oh no, I can't watch this. No.
yes, yes, yes. But it's like people have these triggers, and we
Right.
have to learn how to deal with the triggers and learn how to deal with the trauma. And it
Yes.
becomes
Yes.
easier and easier over time.
Yes.
You instead of trying to fix it all, face one fear at a time. Face
And that's
one,
really all you can
yeah,
do.
face one fear daily. I for years I would not do a live. I was terrified of doing a live. I would make a video and talk and post it.
Uh-huh.
to do a live, girl. Now, yeah, come on, we gonna do a live.
You
Let's
a
do
pro now.
it. Okay. But that was a one of those fears that I had to face. And I guess what I want our viewers to know tonight is that where you see me, where you see Crystal, it it was a journey to get there, and it's a one day at a time journey. And you fall, you have your weekdays, you have your crying days,
Yeah.
you have your days where you just want to say forget it all and I'm not going to do this anymore. And then you wipe your tears, you put on your makeup, you fix your hair, you square your shoulders, and you go do it. You go, and that's all that you can do is go do it every day. Go do it. Do
Right.
something every day. Go
Right.
do it. And if you keep that attitude, you will see your life begin to open up and change. And it really will. It sounds impossible. It sounds so simple, but the things of God are simple, and that's why they're profound, because it's not complicated as we make it. And I think where a lot of people have missed the point is because people don't want to share that it was a process getting where they were. And I thank you for sharing your process. Let me ask you something. Let's switch it to a lighter note. What drew me to you is I was scrolling through these Facebook streets
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and liking, somebody invited me to like something. So as I liked that, I kind of skipped around and I saw this little classy little, it was just a simple black card
Yes,
with a
yes.
word on the front.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of, oh, this is like a little black dress. And that made me reach out to you because it was just so classy and sassy. And it all it takes is a look or a smile. It doesn't take a lot to
Yes,
really get what
yes.
you want done. It's not the loudest in the room is not always the one that gets the prize.
Right, right,
Sometimes the quietest one that
right.
gets that prize. But this card, it really did capture my attention. And I just thought it was the classiest thing. Hold up one of them, let them see it, and tell us about the black notes. And even
Okay.
if they're called black notes, it's
Yeah.
so classy to me.
Miss Teresa, I want to say that like when you reached out to me and you described how you felt and what you saw when you saw the black notes, I
Mm,
was like, yes, she gets me. She got it exactly because that's exactly what I thought. I had this idea. It's actually been like 2 years now. And so it's a black note. So this is one of them. So
mm,
the front of it just says, I was just thinking.
mm,
And then you turn around and it just says about you. So that's very simple, right? But
very.
but I thought about the reason why these were so special to me is because that would make me smile. That would make
Yes,
me blush. That would
yes,
make me feel so good just to get something that simple without me having to ask.
yes.
Someone just sent me this card that says, I was just thinking. And then you turn up because you don't know what it's going to say. I mean, people might know that, now that seen this show, but it's still just the principle of without having to say anything. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn out poem
Mm,
or whatever. And I come up with this stuff all the time, like little short sayings that, like I said, I have a lot of love in my heart, a lot of love in me. And so I think of like little sweet things all the time. And it's like, I think, and the reason why I started writing it down was because I didn't have anyone to say them to or
mm,
to give those little things to. But I was like, I just feel like someone would really love to hear these different things or would love to receive these type of things. And
mm,
so I started writing them down. And then I was like, you know what? Why? I would love to, like, when I was looking at my phone, because my phone is, I have it like on dark mode so that everything's black, and then whatever. I'm just like, that would be so cool to just have like this, you know what I mean? Instead of
Yeah,
it being like on the white paper that you usually
yeah.
see, like this
Mm,
little black note, because it's simple, it's sweet, and so and I'm different, of course. Like, I like to be a little unique. And so I was
yeah.
like, I want to call them black notes. So I had to figure out how I was going to be able to print, how I was going to be able to whatever. But then I figured it out. And so I was like, let me put it out there. I mean, I haven't had a chance to add it on my website yet, but I put it
Mm,
out there so people can still be able to order it if they, want to, make inquiries on my website. So yeah, that's just one of them, and
yeah.
like,
If somebody would like to, because I found this on Facebook.
mm-hmm.
How could they find you on Facebook and be able to order this if they wanted to?
So if they wanted to find it on Facebook, then they could look up the I
Right there.
just chatted it to you.
Okay.
You hear me typing?
Yeah.
They can look up Black Notes by Crystal Nicole, and that's the page, right? And if they weren't on Facebook, then they can go to my website, and even though it's not there, they could
Where you
go
see this info to me at?
in our private chat in this in this
Oh, y'all,
remember I told you I'm the techie.
I,
I'm over here the techie person, so I'm gonna
I'm
utilize
gonna have
y'all.
to I'm gonna have to just take me an afternoon and
Mm-hmm.
block it off and find out your pay rate to teach me some stuff. Look, because I'm over here, I'm like, what's she doing?
You sound like that's my mom though. Like, I don't know. My mom is probably watching this and probably gonna be like, "You just telling everybody on me." But my
I
mom
just
calls me for everything that's related to anything. She unhooked her computer to move
look,
it, and then she calls me to walk her through putting it back together and how to like fix the resolution on the computer screen. I'm like, it's okay, mama. I can be your computer geek.
you guys, I will post these in the program notes for you. For some reason, she thinks that I'm tech savvy. Well, all I can do is make a promo. I'm good at making uh, thumbnails.
Yeah,
I'm good at that.
you
But,
are. It was very pretty. I liked it.
other than that, I mean, I'll be 62 in March. And I
Look
looked at how
great.
you were going to WhatsApp and this and I mean Instagram and all. I'm like, well, how she do that? And look, I knew it said private chat over here, but I never used it. And I hear you typing. I'm over here looking in Facebook and in our messenger, and I'm like, what was she doing? Well, I got to take me some text that, and maybe she
It's
could teach me.
okay. It's okay.
I got a new friend now. See, God hook you up with people that can help you. So
That's true.
she
That's
gonna
true.
help me do some things, y'all, and let me help her do some things.
Yes, ma'am.
So I do have the info here, and I'm gonna put it on the show notes so you'll be able to go to it because it's not like seeing her hold it up. And I know I'm making a big deal out of this, but when I saw those black little cards, it just classic, elegant. I would love to receive one. And I think if I found that right guy and he didn't see me, I'd ease him one of them cards to get his attention.
Hey, that's why
I'm
I'm like,
serious.
it's for a male or a female, because like just that one that I picked up. I mean, that doesn't have to be to a female.
No.
That could be to a guy. And it's
Can you
very,
see him just smiling and blushing?
yeah, he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, she thinking about me. Oh,
Okay.
what?" I'm
Mm-mm.
gonna have to go in her DM. I'm gonna have to go talk to her.
Now let's not see you just messed up the whole vibe of the program. You already know that We're gonna leave that right there because
I already know. I already
you
know.
already know
I already know.
it's some strange things going on in the
In the
social
DMs.
in the DMs in the social media streets. It is like, baby,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really. Look, I
It's
want
just
to.
because you're so beautiful, they can't help it. I really don't deal with that in my DMs, like the things that you talk about. I don't have all that going on in my DMs. And I'm thankful. I'm grateful that I don't.
Shut up.
I really don't.
It's not. I don't have it a lot. I tell you what it happens at a lot. Instagram.
uh,
And I even put the proverbial note up there. Um, to all Yahoo boys, just because I'm on Instagram doesn't mean I have money. I'm lonely. Uh, I live in the United States, but we struggle like you do.
yeah.
So please stop. But they always and now they done got the girls into it. But I just blocked them immediately. That's where I see it at all the time on Instagram, and I was surprised when it popped up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Now you are a published author.
Yes. I
Tell
have
us
those books
about
here
your
too.
books. Tell us about them.
Well, I have two collections of poetry. I have Rhythms of the Heart, my very first book.
Okay.
And then I have Rhythms of the Heart. I'm trying to make sure you can see.
Yeah.
Volume 2, Volume 2, and they are collections of poetry. And the reason why it's called Rhythms of the Heart, the chapters are emotions. It doesn't say chapter 1, chapter 2. The chapters are emotions, love,
Mm,
passion,
mm,
spiritual, pain and sorrow, and then there's a few extra beats. So,
that is nice.
and then I have Dirty Montgomery and the Odor Shadow, which is my children's book, and I have started on my second Dirty Montgomery book because there's a series. These different Dirty Montgomery and the Odor Shadow is about a little boy with a very active imagination who does not like to take baths. And
Mm,
it's actually fun to read, not just if you're a little kid, but even if you're reading it to someone. It's a very fun book, and I'm gonna give you a sneak peek on the next book is Dirty Montgomery in Cavityville.
mm. Did your kids like the book?
Oh yes. My
Good.
daughter was like she was one of my test subjects because I have my daughter at the time when I published it, she was 8, and she's totally in the age range, and she starts reading and she goes, "It's a little scary." I was like, "No,
Mm,
it's not." I'm like, "It's not scary. Just keep reading." She's like, "Okay." And then she keeps reading and she was like, there's a part in there where he says, um, she's always telling me to take a bath. Wash your hands, Montgomery. I don't understand why, because I'm gonna get them dirty again when I eat, right? And she's like, I know, right? I'm like,
oh
I'm
my
like,
goodness.
you gotta wash your hands. So yeah, they like it. I got to read it to her school, and they are pressuring me to like her. Those little kids at her school, they are motivators for real, because when I go up there to do anything, whatever, they're like, "That's her. That's her." I'm like a celebrity. That's her. And they're like, When are you gonna write the next Dirty Montgomery book? Have you written it yet?"
That is so cool. So
Yeah.
let me ask you when if somebody wanted to order your books, where would
Hmm.
they order them from? You can go on and type it in there.
Well,
Now
it's still the same website as crystalnicole.com. So
okay,
if even though you don't see down there, you can it's spelled the way my name is displayed here. It's
okay.
crystalnicole.com. You can order books, you can contact me, reach out to me for black notes, you can schedule appointments to get your hair done. You can do everything from crystalnicole.com, because if you can book me, if you needed me to speak, you can book me. If you wanted me to sing, ha, 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 all of that kind of good stuff.
Okay, so everything can be done right over there at crystalnicole.com. That
Yep.
is the go-to place to
Yeah,
make sure that you can get these things. And
it is.
I
It
think
is.
I think I'm gonna go over there and get the Dirty Montgomery for my great grands because they're
Hmm.
about at that age where they are 8, 7, and 6.
Hmm.
So this would be right up there where they can read them. And so I think I'm gonna go over there and order that for them. And I think I'm gonna go and order some black notes because you never know.
You just never know.
You never know. You never know. And
Another way that people can get my books also, I just thought about it, is if you go to Amazon.com and
mhm,
you type in my name, Crystal Trailer, then
mhm.
all three of my books pop up that way.
Okay, okay, great, great,
Yeah,
great.
it's available on like a lot of different platforms. I usually send people to Amazon just because it pops up there, but like Dirty Montgomery is even available on Walmart.com. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
Okay. So you got it out there.
Man, when I'm trying to do it. I think
You-
people, I I may not be on the bestsellers list, New York Times
But
bestsellers
you're
list,
doing
but
it. You're
I'm
doing it.
trying.
You're doing
I
it. And
believe in it.
you see, and that's the thing. If you don't believe in your own self and grind for yourself, how you expect somebody else to grind and support you? But I'm so proud of you. I'm glad of what you're doing. So I'm gonna
Thank
go
you so
support
much.
you. Um, um, so you are available for public speaking and motivational speaking and different things of that nature. So like if we do a women's conference,
Uh-huh.
since you're a good old fashioned coachy girl,
Yeah.
I,
Yes.
I could give you your subject and you come down here and turn it out, huh?
Yes, ma'am. I hope you be as long as you're ready for the spirit, because that's how
Oh,
I go.
that's how we flow though.
That's how we
That's
roll, right?
that's how we roll. That's how we flow. The authentic. We are not faking around here.
Well, that's good. That's
So
good.
uh, that's girl. So, what would be your parting short that you would want us to know about you, life, whatever? You got the next,
Couple
as long
seconds.
as you want, as long as you want. I'm gonna leave this with you.
Well, I won't keep you very long because I know that people's attention span is not that long. So, my parting words are: everyone has a past, and it's all about what you do today to prepare for your future. And like I was already saying, doesn't matter what's happened, doesn't matter where you've been, it doesn't matter what failures you've had. All you have to do, the main thing you have to remember is that you still, as long as you are breathing, as long as you see another day and God blesses you with another day, it's another opportunity to get it right, to do better, to excel, to evolve. I have like so much. I'm just like you said, you're about to be 62. I'm
Mhm,
43, and
mhm.
at 43 I'm still growing and I'm still evolving because I had to learn. There's life lessons that I've had to learn, and I some of them I didn't even learn until I got a little older. So
Mhm.
it's like learning to love myself has not been something I've done until the last few years, and I still work on that. Self love, understanding that that I am awesome, that
Mhm.
I am. I don't look at myself and say, "Oh, I'm gorgeous, I'm beautiful," but I look at myself and say, "I am awesome. I have a great personality. I
Yes.
love people. I love, being able to embrace people." And so that's what matters is about. It's all about understanding who you are and loving yourself first, and allowing people, because it's hard sometimes when you are used to people like putting you down. It's hard
Mhm.
sometimes to accept help. It's hard sometimes to accept people like being kind to you because you always feel like there's some type of ulterior motive. But
Mhm.
it's all about understanding who you are and where you are, and being able to accept help, because Like if I had the money to hire an assistant, and I just told my best friend this, I would definitely do it because I do have a lot going on. But God's grace and God's mercy and everything else is what,
Hmm.
keeps me going and keeps me strong. And so, yeah, be positive. Positive self-talk. That's what I tell people all the time. Positive self-talk. Don't keep
Yes.
that negativity in your brain, and don't allow other people to tell you what you should do. Pray, ask God, move forward in your own purpose and not for
Yes.
anybody else.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. And even as an older person, older, middle age, whatever. No, I'm past middle age, older. We're still learning. We're still growing. And
Hmm.
we still have to learn to shut out the voices. We still have to learn to speak positive about ourselves,
Yes.
because you'll find yourself in somebody say, "Well, don't say that. That sounds negative," and you'd be like, "What?" Because you said it so many times that it, I tell people I go crazy, because it's like I'm learning so much as
Right. Right.
the older I grow, the more I learn, and it's just like sometimes, okay, God, stop. I need a break right now. This is your servant calling. I need a break.
Yeah.
Sensory overload right now. But in order to go to the next phase in life, you got to be willing to change.
You
You
really
have to
do.
be willing to change. And change does not feel good.
But it's
It's
not a bad thing.
it's not a bad thing. It stretches you beyond your own views, your own comfort zones. And what ends up happening is you find this beautiful person that you did not even know existed. And like you say, you can wake up every day and say, hmm, man, I ain't too bad. Yeah, wait a minute. And then when you get that attitude in life, you start, what am I going to try to say here? You start to
Walk in it.
you start to walk in it, but you begin to value, put a different perspective on the people who you allow into your life.
True. True.
You
No,
know,
that's true.
yeah,
Because you
yes,
won't let just anybody's energy be around you. People who are always negative, people who
mm-hmm,
don't support you. People, I
mm-hmm,
have a very small support circle or a small
yes,
circle, and I'm okay with that because the people
yes,
that I have in my circle are people that care for me, that love me, that
yes,
support me, and I don't have to worry about, them backbiting and trying to
mm-mm,
pull me down versus them trying to be there for me and
yes,
support me, and we all need to have a support system.
yes.
God is great and wonderful, but he puts people in your life to help you
Help
here.
you. And you have to get to the point where you realize that you do and should be careful and actually pick and choose. People need to earn to be in your life. They need to, they, instead of you always giving, it's time to, you let people show you why they deserve to be in your circle, in your presence. And a lot of people don't want to, they feel like having that kind of attitude is thinking they're better than everybody. No, it is protecting your peace, and it is changing your mindset. And when you start picking and choosing who you allow, even in friendship, even sometimes toxic family members, to come in your circle, you will find that you are not uh, so unhappy.
And
So,
and there's a very tactful way to do that. You don't have to
yeah,
be rude. You
no,
don't have to be, you don't have to be messy and nasty. It's just
you
I'm
don't
not
have to
allowing
say,
everybody in my space.
you don't even have to say anything. You just keep it moving. Hey,
Right.
you doing it? Keep it moving.
Right. Right.
Oh, okay, and keep it moving.
Yes.
You just have to learn how to keep it moving. And
Yes,
there
ma'am.
gets a message, but it is we have to the Bible says to guard your heart. And that means more, that means so much. And we have had no fences around our lives, no boundaries around our life, no boundaries around our heart, and everybody and everything just been coming in running ramp shot. And then here's where you got a depressed, anxious, bipolar person.
Yeah.
And you have to start one by one building up the breaches and not blocking people out,
Right.
but putting that protective wall around you. And that does come in, like you say, with those rare few people. Listen to them when they say, mm-mm, no, no, boo-boo. So anyway, that's our advice for tonight. Either
Yes.
you do it, let me tell you, like I tell my grandkids, if what you're doing working for you, keep doing it. If it's not working for you, we put out several other options that you may want to try.
Right. And never be satisfied where you are. Don't ever
No,
be satisfied. Don't ever just say, "Oh, I'm good." Just always try to
no,
grow.
no, never be satisfied. Never, with nothing in life.
Right.
It's okay after 2 years to say I want new living room furniture. Never be satisfied. It's okay. It's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I want new living room furniture. I'm tired of looking at mine. It ain't toe up. I'm just tired of looking at it. No, but she's serious though. Never be satisfied where you are. Never be satisfied. I don't care if you're working at Walmart, if you're working at whatever job you're working on, take a class. If you don't want to go get a degree, go get a certificate or something. They got all these culinary classes and these different classes you could take. Get back in the education thing by taking a little 9-month certificate class. And when you
Right.
get that certificate, you'll be so proud it may make you want to go back and get that associate's. Little steps, little steps. There's nothing wrong with. I know a couple of people. We know we've been doing foodie all month.
Uh-huh.
And a few of a few of them took that culinary class. One girl, she had her master's and went back and took the culinary class. It's okay to get a certificate. Everybody's not college material.
Right.
Always,
Right.
and you got Google, you got YouTube, you got all these platforms where, my God, you can learn how to do darn near anything you want to do. But
True.
I need Crystal's personal attention because I don't understand and I need to get tech savvy. But you guys, we thank you for trusting us. We thank you for joining us on this Valentine's night. As always, we done laughed, we done talk a little serious about things. And the truth is, we want you to have a better life, a brighter life, a beautiful life. You
Yes.
deserve. I thank Crystal for coming on, for trusting us with her story, for trusting us with her gifts, because she has so many gifts. Please take advantage because I'm going to go on after we do this. I'm going to okay, there it goes. After we do this, I'm going to amen, Crystal, well spoken. Enjoy. You are truly awesome.
Ah, thank you.
Miss Walker, she did phenomenal. Yes, she
Thank
did.
you so much.
Yes, she did. Um, I do. I thank you for trusting me and coming on, sharing your story, for being vulnerable, and for the encouragement that you gave the viewers. I really
Thank
do.
you. Thank
Um,
you for having
as
me.
as I say with this show, if it just touches one person and let somebody, one person know to go a little higher, and
Yes.
one person to know not to give up, and one person to know that they are worthy, it's all worth it. You
Yes.
guys, as always, faith, belief, forward motion. Remember who you are. Remember whose you are. And Deborah, you get Krista, you get the last word. Deborah, you off the screen, girl.
Well, like she said, we're just hoping that anytime I'm on any type of situation like this, anytime I get to speak or whatever, if it only touches one person, then that is good for me. I've had inboxes before where I just was like, why am I even doing this? And then
Yes,
one person drops in my inbox and says, your post helped me today. Your post, I wanted to do, but because I read your post, I feel different. And that's really all that matters. And like you said, on this day of love, to know
yes,
people love you and I love people and I love you.
yes,
And thank you so much.
yes. We sprinkling love uh dust all over you guys.
Yep.
Bye. You guys have a rest of your good night, and thank you for joining us on tonight for Destination Mountaintop Stories of Inspiration. Bye,
Thank
Crystal.
you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Thank you.